Because you're lazy mother. Just kidding. Kinda. I don't know. But I'm mostly making this video to explore why I feel like I don't have enough time and what I'm doing to try to remedy these issues. And hopefully you could learn something from it as well. So let's get into it. Time is our most precious resource. The average human lives to be about 78, 79 years old. To put it into perspective, here's a graph showing the average human lifespan, where each dot represents a week in that life. Now here's that same graph where I colored in red every day that I've already lived, starting on my birthday on April 20th, 1996, all the way to when I'm recording this. Needless to say, we don't have nearly as much time as we might want or our brains will allow us to think that we have. So it's really important to try to maximize the time that we have on this planet. And no, that doesn't mean you have to stay cooped up in your office working 24/7. But that does mean you have to be selective about what you do with your time. And you're doing exactly what's most important to you. And if that means playing Among Us for hours at a time with your friends, then by all means, go for it. Just make sure it's the best use of your time based on what you want out of life, and not because you're trying to distract yourself from achieving something else. Now there's definitely some exceptions to this, but I believe that for 99% of us, the reason why we feel like we don't have enough time in our lives is because we're constantly distracted. Whether that be from checking social media to popping bubble wrap because you like the sound, or even just working. And yes, I definitely believe that work itself could be a distraction. If you're not working towards a greater goal, then I think you're just wasting your time, personally. Here's a challenge for you. For 24 hours, write every single thing that you do. Every single thing. Down to the minute. Then at the end of those 24 hours, highlight everything that you would consider a distraction. What this exercise will do will help you realize just how much time you're wasting on just useless shit. And once you're aware of all these things, you can start to implement strategies to cut back on all of that. One of the things I struggle with the most all the time is social media. Mostly watching dumb YouTube videos. It's something I've struggled with for many years now because I have no self-control. I'll get the urge to use my phone every few minutes even if I have no real use for it. Sometimes I'll open my phone and realize I have no need for it at that moment and just immediately close it. My hand is just so used to the motion of opening it that it just happens naturally. It's a really bad habit and something I've been trying to scale back on lately. Something I've been trying out lately is using apps and Google extensions that block you out of websites that you choose, which includes social media. Most of them will even let you whitelist sites at certain hours, so temporarily you'll have access to them, but only at those specific hours. Some of them will even have an option where you can't uninstall the app or change any of the settings, or they'll make it really hard to the point where it's not even worth it. Personally, I really like that feature because I know myself, and given enough time, I will try to cheat my way back into using social media. So having a way to kind of blockade that is really useful for me. I've talked about this on this channel before, but something that was really eating into my time was taking naps. Even though I would take like 30-minute naps, I would take like 8 of them a day. And right there's 25% of my day gone, poof. So this is something I really had to learn to control and really nip in the bud. How I was able to do that was a mixture of finding ways to keep myself awake and also discouraging myself from going to places that I would be likely to nap, like my room for instance. Things like daily exercise, getting enough sunlight, and smashing the like button are paramount for me for avoiding taking unnecessary naps. I'm kidding about the last one, but while you're here, go ahead and do that and I'd very much appreciate it. So just to sort of wrap this up, time management is all about finding where you're not being as efficient with your time as maybe you could be, and fine-tuning those areas to the point where hopefully it'll compound to the point where you're saving hours of your time each day. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, likes are no, subscribe because it helps, and until next time, peace.